You are listening to the Special Needs Children podcast with Chitra Iyer. References to a child as him or her in this podcast are meant to be gender neutral. Chitra Iyer is a parent of a 21-year-old Shravan Iyer who has epilepsy, cerebral palsy and autism. She is the CEO of MFA and has been helping families with life-centered planning to reach their personal financial goals. She is also a trustee of a parent support group, the Forum for Autism, which was set up almost 2 decades ago. MFA is a 15-year-old organization working in the personal finance space. They have set up a dedicated practice to help families with special needs children plan their financial goals and invest for the same. The thoughts shared here are a result of discussions with parents, caregivers, siblings, and professionals regarding the planning of a person with special needs. This podcast, in the Special Needs Podcast with Chitra Iyer, addresses the step-by-step process to figure out how much corpus you will need to achieve your family's goals.
Hi. In the third podcast, I shared with you about the first step in setting the financial goals for your family, especially for your special needs child. In this podcast, I'm going to share a step-by-step process on figuring out how much corpus will you need to achieve these goals. I will request you to get a pen and paper to make this easier for you as you listen and make some notes based on what I'm sharing. So, revisiting my personal story again, my husband and I are 50 years of age and our son is 20 today. I shared with you that as a family, we decided we would need rupees 50,000 per month for Shravan 10 years from now. That is when we retire. We also stated that we need around 2 lakhs per month towards our own monthly expenses as we retire. We estimated our annual travel related expenses at rupees 5 lakhs. Apart from this, we would like to keep a health corpus for Shravan in current money terms at rupees 10 lakhs. Similarly, for ourselves, we would like to create a health corpus of around rupees 20 lakhs. We also thought about keeping some money for an attendant or a help who would watch over Shravan. In today's money terms, we would need at least 30,000 per month towards just this administrative expense. Whether he will live at our current home with someone looking after him, or even if he were to go live in any residential home, this is the cost in today's money terms. So, I have listed 6 goals. Shravan's monthly expenses, our monthly expenses, his health corpus, our health corpus, our vacation needs, and his administrative expense. When we as a parent support group at Forum for Autism first spoke about how much all of these needs would add up to in the future, just purely because of inflation, we were all in shock because all of these needs added up into crores of rupees which would be needed for ourselves as well as for our children. Inflation hits us quite acutely. We don't realize how it slowly creeps on us. Inflation simply means that the money that you have today and what you're spending it on today will not be enough tomorrow when you want to buy the same product. Basically, over a period like maybe 10 years from now, the cost of what we consume today would be twice of what it is. Remember, our parents used to tell us that during their times, they used to earn very less compared to today, and they used to run their household expenses with very little as even 100 rupees per month. Could we believe them then? But look at our expenses today. This will happen in the future as well. So when we said that we would need 50,000 per month for Shravan's expenses today, it translates into around 90,000 per month, close to double, 10 years from now. And we want to provide for this 90,000 per month for his entire lifespan. We have assumed that Shravan will live till at least 60-70 years of age, if not more. So just rounding this off to a lakh a month means we are talking of at least 12 lakhs per year. This is just Shravan's need. And we are talking about this money being needed for 30 to 40 years of his life after we retire. Now for this much money to come into him regularly and for inflation to be factored in year on year after 10 years, we must calculate how much is the corpus that would be needed at Shravan's age of 30. This corpus must be invested in a way that the income we earn from it will be able to give him 1 lakh per month, or the future value of 1 lakh, that is the inflated value of 1 lakh starting as of 10 years from now. If you just multiply rupees 12 lakhs for 30 years, that in itself is 3.6 crores. So to achieve a monthly payout of rupees 1 lakh from the investments, the amount to be invested at his age 30 will be rupees 3 crores. It may sound shocking, but this is the truth. This is because of inflation and the total number of years this amount must last for Shravan. This is the amount we will need to transfer to Shravan's private trust towards his monthly need by the time he is 30. For his administration need of 30,000 rupees per month, we will need to be ready with a corpus of rupees 2 crores in his trust. And for the future value of his health corpus need of rupees 15 lakhs today, we will need to transfer 20 lakhs to his trust. We were also in shock initially, but we set on the path of understanding how it is that we can reach this figure. How can we secure his future? How can we set aside so much money for him? And apart from him, we must set aside money for ourselves, as we too needed money post our retirement. How will we go about accumulating so much money? Remember, now we have only 10 years to do this. Thankfully, we have been very diligent savers and investors over the last 30 years of our earning life. I would save my entire salary from the beginning of my career, and my husband's income we spent for all the various needs of the family. We did have our ups and downs, where we could save very little at times as expenses suddenly shot up due to a fall in income or sudden unforeseen expenses that came up. We have made some investments up till now, and as we continue working, we will continue saving and investing the money till we retire. I am sure we will also continue working after our retirement and earn money. So how do we reach the 5+ crore that we need for Shravan? We must continue saving and investing money judiciously, month on month, along with the investments that we have already made. This needs to be actively monitored wisely by a finance professional so that they become 5 crores by the time we retire. Families usually have some investments the way we already had. And just like us, these are invested across fixed deposits, mutual funds, stocks, insurance policies, gold, and a house. Since we have only one child, one calculation we have factored in is that after us, the house can be sold, the loan against it, if still any, can be squared off, and the money can be used for Shravan's corpus for his lifelong need. So, while we have earmarked the money coming from the sale of the house after we pass away for Shravan, the rest of the investments that we have made, we have allocated for Shravan's health corpus, our health corpus, and towards our own retirement and vacations. From the income that we are earning year on year, we decided to save at least 40% for this future need. It is always tough to decide how much one wants to spend and how much one wants to save. What you want to spend is for today, which is for our happiness today, and we cannot sacrifice that. We need to live a wholesome life today also with our children. Similarly, we have to be very conscious and careful about tomorrow. We will need to save money so that there is enough kept aside for our needs in the future. We definitely don't want to be dependent on any other family member or ask anyone for financial help. We want to be self-sufficient, and we want to see that our child is also well provided for. Hence, it is only prudent that we are disciplined about our savings. Whether these investments are in the best yielding products, giving you the best returns post-tax, can only be done by proper goal-based investment planning. I cannot reiterate the need of a good financial planner to guide you on this. For each family, the way you reach these goals will be very different. It matters on how much you earn, what are your expenses, how prudent you are, what is your age bracket, and what is your income earning capacity. And what do you expect will be your lifespan? Now, sit down and write out all the expenses that you incur in your life currently and understand how much are you saving. I will share some important tips on how, by following some golden rules, these amounts can be achieved by you. First, start goal-based planning early. Understand what you need money for, how much do you need, and when do you need it. And as soon as you start earning, start saving and investing. Don't allow money to sit idle in the bank. It erodes itself, as it cannot even match inflation. Aim to save at least 40% of your take-home income. First invest, then spend. Set up SIPs, systematic investment plans, that help you do this. We have done this, and it has truly worked for us. Always calculate your post-tax return to compare where you are investing. For example, if you invest in FDs, you will land up paying the 30% as tax. So you should calculate the post-tax return. It will be 70% of the interest rate only. See if this even beats inflation, which is at 6%. Check all your options to invest. Be aware of risk in investments. Analyze your risk-taking capacity, ability, and figure where you should invest to match the same. Avoid financial jargon and people who throw financial jargon at you. Keep it simple. Always ask questions and understand where your money is being invested. Insurance should be taken only to cover risk and not used as investment. I will share in detail about this in another podcast. Take the help of a good professional planner to do goal-based investment planning, preferably a firm like ours, and one that understands your circumstances. We will teach you how to plan as per your time horizon and your risk based on the goals as to where you need to invest. Understand the concept of having a good asset allocation. That is, not putting all your eggs in one basket, but investing it across assets. Always give time to monitor your investments periodically. Don't watch them daily. Give money time in the equity markets to deliver. They always do. Last and most important, don't try to do this on your own, please. You need help and guidance. I am talking from experience. We have many biases about money, and hence our behavior comes in the way of the correct way to reach our goals. As families of children with special needs, this important aspect of putting down a clear plan to help you understand how much corpus will you need to secure your child's future is extremely important. Today I have guided you on how we can help you articulate your goals and estimate the corpus required for your family. In the next podcast, I will explain how much will be needed to invest to reach these goals. To get started with this immediately, please write down your goals for the family. Thank you.
You were listening to the Special Needs Children podcast with Chitra Iyer, the CEO of MFA and a trustee with the Forum for Autism. If you find this podcast relevant and interesting, it will be great if you leave a review, share, like, and subscribe. You could also let us know if there is any specific topic that you would like us to cover. Feel free to email her on chitra.iyer@myfinad.com, or you can call her on 9833 785 892. That is 9833 785 892.